There's a YouTuber out there making over $75,000 a month teaching people how to cycle. And by the end of this video, you're going to know who this YouTuber is, how he makes this money, and how you can build a business like this for yourself. So let's take a look at the channel. And the channel is called Bulletproof Cycling. And he has a very simple business model. I'm going to show you it right now. All he does is he posts videos. It looks like he posts one video per week. And then if we take a look at one of these videos, if we go to the links in the description, we can see he has a free lead magnet, which he plugs in the video. And then he also has another link to his paid school community, which is where he's making the $75,000 a month. And as you can see on his school community, he has 771 members and he charges $99 a month for it. So if you do the maths, that comes to over $76,000 a month he's making from this school community alone. And I think we can both agree that is crazy money. So it's simple. All he does, he posts YouTube videos. Those YouTube videos get views. He plugs them to his free lead magnet that makes the viewer go, wow, if this is free, imagine what paying for working with him would look like. And then he plugs his paid school community, which then people go and sign up for. But why cycling? Why is something that seems so simple so profitable? Well, there are 4 key reasons, which I'm going to go through right now. And the first is that cycling has a massive, passionate global audience. People who are bigger cycling don't just see it as a hobby. It's a lifestyle to them, and it's a sport that's extremely accessible. Everyone can ride a bike, so it means that the audience pool is massive. And it has a big worldwide culture. There's road cyclists, mountain bike cyclists, gravel riders, people that commute to work on their bike. Again, this means the audience pool is massive. And like we said earlier, cycling isn't just a hobby. It's a lifestyle to the people that are obsessed with it, which makes them highly motivated to consume content that reinforces and deepens that identity. And cyclists are always trying to improve. They want to climb faster, get stronger, buy better equipment, recover quicker, and just enjoy their rides more, which means you have an endless demand of how-to content, reviews, and training advice that you can create content around. The second reason is that it has very high engagement and it's evergreen. Cycling has the perfect balance of timeless appeal and fresh trends that you can create content around. For example, you can have the evergreen tutorials such as how to climb faster or how to fix a flat tire or how to corner safely. These will always be relevant no matter the time period, and every time there's new riders that come into the sport, they're going to be searching for these fundamentals. And cycling has lots of gear that you can create content around, such as the new bikes or wheels or tech or gadgets that are released all the time. This means videos around reviewing these products or comparing different products will always do well and get consistent views. And like we said earlier, cyclists are always trying to improve, which means they're constantly seeking training or riding advice or videos to help them stay motivated, or just any sort of entertainment content around cycling. And cycling isn't just a one-off hobby that people try and then never try again. It's something that's always requiring a constant pursuit if you're wanting to get better, which means that this type of content is going to build consistent engagement. And cycling content is never going to run out of demand because there's always going to be a new rider to teach or a new piece of gear to review or a new story to tell. Number 3. Monetizable audience. Cycling is a very expensive passion, which makes the audience highly monetizable for creators. You know, with cyclists, you can routinely drop around $1,000 to $10,000 on a bike or $200 on a helmet and many other expensive things such as, like we said earlier, gadgets or clothes. Now, because it's such a high spending hobby, this means that the people that consume content around cycling are much more likely to invest in products or coaching or communities that you are creating. And cycling has a very premium demographic because the people that are most into cycling are the people that have disposable income that they can invest in things to make them better, such as gear or, in our case, communities, products, that sort of thing. So this makes it a very valuable audience to have for creators. Now, as we said earlier, riders are always trying to improve, which means that they are much more likely to invest in courses or coaching. This means you can create digital products such as training plans or nutrition plans, recovery plans, and all those sorts of things. And also, cycling is a sport that is very community driven, which means that a paid school community like that channel I showed you taps directly into this. Riders are getting that connection that they want in the community, but they're also getting that knowledge that is helping them improve their cycling. It's a combination of both the things that cyclists want. And the fourth reason is that there is room for expertise and authority. Cycling is a niche where creators are able to position themselves as experts without needing to be a pro racer, because the audience wants guidance and just wants to learn from people that are 1 to 2 steps ahead of where they are. You know, cycling isn't something that you can just master in a year. you're always able to improve, and there is an endless skill progression, which means that there's so many content opportunities and ways to position yourself as an authority in the space. So we know that cycling content is very profitable, but now let's take a look specifically at how Bulletproof Cycling has created his YouTube business. And here's where it gets really smart. He doesn't target all cyclists because that is way too broad, and that's targeting way too many people. And when you target everyone, you're targeting no one. So what he's done is he's identified his ideal customer profile that he feels best able to teach, and is creating content specifically for them. Now, based on his videos and school community, I've identified that his ideal customer profile is cyclists over 50 with disposable income who are focused on longevity, efficiency, and avoiding mistakes that could impact their health or performance goals. So let me show you how he creates content for this goldmine audience. So what I've gone and done is I've taken the titles from his last 12 videos, and now I'm going to show you why these video titles and video topics are genius at not only getting clicks on the videos, but also promoting his school community. And on screen right now are the 12 video titles that I actually went ahead and analyzed. And based on these titles, I identified 4 different categories of content he's creating. First one is longevity and health focus, which directly aligns with his bulletproof longevity mission, which is a big part of his YouTube channel and his school community. Second category is age-specific content. He's targeting a very high-value demographic which has disposable income. And from looking at him himself, it also looks like he's around that age as well. So when people around his age are watching his videos, they're going to be able to trust him a lot more because they're automatically going to assume that he's faced similar problems that they will have at some point as well. You know, compare that to if someone in their 20s was trying to teach people over 50 about cycling. You wouldn't trust them as much because you just wouldn't think that they'd have the same problems as you. The third title category is mistake correction, and I found that the majority of his videos are targeting this title category because they create a sense of urgency and position himself as the expert solution. And the fourth title category is efficiency and time saving. These type of videos are great because they're going to appeal to busy professionals who are going to be much more likely to pay for shortcuts. But one thing that all these titles have in common is that they use psychological triggers that make the viewers click. And he does this with 3 different strategies: authority building, pain point exploitation, and urgency creation. First type is authority building, and he does this in a few different ways, such as putting things like expert reveals in the title, which is going to position him as the go-to authority, or the number one thing or mistake, which is going to suggest exclusive insider knowledge, or even with top secret fix. This is going to imply there's privileged information that is worth watching and then paying for. The second type of psychological trigger is pain point exploitation. He uses phrases such as make you look like a beginner, which is going to target the ego and social status, or worst mistake, which creates this fear of continued failure, which makes the viewer want to click so that they don't continue having this failure. And even the phrase such as you've been cycling wrong. This is going to challenge everything that the viewer is doing currently with their cycling. And the third type of psychological trigger is urgency and scarcity. He uses phrases such as stop this now to encourage the viewer to take immediate action, or change everything, which promises a transformation, or the phrase is shocking / won't believe, which is going to create curiosity gaps that demand resolution. Now, why are these titles and video topics so great for converting viewers into his school community? Well, to start off with, they target the perfect audience. The demographic he's targeting is cyclists over the age of 50 that have money and care deeply about longevity. And the psychographic he's targeting is efficiency seekers who will pay to avoid trial and error. And he's also targeting cyclists that know they make mistakes and know they need expert guidance. The second reason is value demonstration. With these types of videos, he's proving that he's an expert and that he has specialized knowledge that is worth watching and paying for. And he's also proving that he understands their common struggles and has the ability to solve complex issues that they may have. And if he's able to do this for free in his videos, this means the viewer is much more likely to pay to work with him because, as we said earlier, he's making the viewer go, wow, if this is free, imagine what his paid content is like. The third reason why these convert so well to his school community is that he has a very strategic community positioning. In most of his videos, he uses a very consistent branding, which is the bulletproof concept, which appears in a lot of his videos and, well, in the name of his channel and the name of his school community. And he also creates a lot of FOMO. It's making the viewer go, well, I'm making these mistakes, I need expert help, which they can only get through his community. But the bottom line is that these titles and videos topics don't just get clicks. They are pre-qualifying and warming up exactly the type of viewer that is going to be willing to pay $99 a month for a community that is going to help them. And now what we're going to do is we're going to watch one of his recent videos, and I'm going to tell you how he strategically converts viewers into buyers of his community.
Here's the hard truth. Most riders over the age of 50 are screwing up their training.
So in the first 5 seconds, he says the phrase, most riders in their 50s are screwing up their training, which is making his ideal customer profile, which we identified earlier, go, well, am I one of those people? And now they feel the need to keep watching to see if they are one of those people that is making these mistakes. He also positions himself as an authority in a very simple way. He's out riding his bike. This automatically just makes him appear more knowledgeable about what he's talking about and just more trustworthy, because you feel like you can trust what he's saying now a lot more than if it was someone that was just sitting at their desk saying this stuff.
They're riding too hard or too soft, too often or not often enough. It's like ordering a salad at the restaurant and then drowning it with mayo.
So right there, does something very simple. He makes a joke. This automatically just makes you feel like you can trust him a bit more because he just feels like a friend.
Technically healthy, but you're missing the bloody point. I'm going to show you how to train smarter. Look for the traps, but avoid the traps so that you make progress way beyond the years that most people are hanging up their bike or thinking about buying a caravan or an e-bike.
So right there, he creates what is called a curiosity gap. This is where you reveal just enough information so that the viewer understands the context of the video, but you withhold the crucial information that makes them want to keep watching. So right there, you know that this video is going to contain valuable information, and the information he's withheld in this case is what those traps are. You have to keep watching to find out what they are. And then after 35 seconds, we are into the main part of the video. If I was to say anything to improve this, I would say maybe trying to keep the intro under 30 seconds, but I still think that was a very good intro, and he added some light-hearted comments that I actually think benefited it, so I wouldn't say that's too much of an issue. And then if we actually watch the video, he has a very unique way of filming it. This just makes the video more interesting and again positions himself as an authority. You trust him a lot more because he's out cycling. Now let's skip towards the end of the video where he actually plugs his school community.
Check out Rob's comment. He's 64 years old and he's just seen himself enter the 1% club. And that's only just sparked an increase in motivation to help him continue onwards and upwards because he believes he can progress even more. Hey, look, if you want to know what Rob did to get into the 1% club, click the first link. You'll get access to my free presentation. But if you want to be like Rob or to surpass Rob, click the second link and get access to the Bulletproof community. I'll give you 7 days free trial.
And the way he plugs his school community is by actually showing a testimonial from someone inside his school community. And this person is the perfect example of his ideal customer profile, meaning the viewer who is also his ideal customer profile is much more likely to invest in the school community. And he also does two things which I think were very good. He gives a low barrier to entry call to action, which is to download his free product. And he also gives a call to action to his school community where he offers a free 7-day trial for the viewer. This makes it super easy for anyone to just go and sign up to his other stuff. And for example, if someone was to sign up for his free 7-day trial, well, the goal would be to then make the content inside it so good that they wouldn't want to leave after those 7 days, which I'm sure is exactly what he does. So what can you take away from this and apply to your own YouTube channel and business? Well, first off, you need to find a passionate community that is willing to spend money on their interests. And secondly, don't try and serve everyone. Identify your ideal customer profile and target them in every video. And that's everything. If you found this video useful, I do have a free email course where for the next 14 days, I'll send you daily advice on how to grow a profitable, educational YouTube channel. The link will be in the description to sign up to that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.